So as we were talking about partnerships, I want to talk to you about authentic partnerships and share with you how one brand, one man, and one shoe changed the world through co-creation. I'm not talking about symbolic partnership. You know, the type where, we'll listen, but we still make the decisions. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about real partnerships. Real partnerships that form true outcomes. The story, this is a story that starts way before United Way's work. But it is a story that had change. So in my golden girl, my favorite golden girl, Sophia's voice, picture it. April 1985. Something changed. You see, before this moment in April 1985, athletics and endorsements had a pretty predictable formula. The athlete was the spokesperson. They put on the shoe. They smiled. They sold the product. But they didn't get to make decisions. They didn't get to design the shoe. They didn't get to lead. They were just there to sell the product. But you see, Nike had something different in mind. Nike was looking for more than a spokesperson. Nike was looking for a partner. It was that shift from talking at someone, like your typical athletic endorsement, to building with them. And because of that shift, we got Air Jordan. Woo-hoo. We got it not just for Michael Jordan, but for generations after him, and eventually for all of us. Again, Nike and Air Jordan wasn't just about a sneaker. It was a signal of what was possible when people closest to the work are trusted to shape it. Now, you're probably thinking, Keisha, what does a basketball shoe have to do with United Way, San Francisco, Bay Area? That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. It's because we made the same shift. We went from spokesperson to partner, and that was the start of the United Way Bay Area's Ambassador Council. We went from there to here. And I'll be honest with you, when we started, we fell into the same trap. We designed. Communities told the story, but we still decided. People with lived experiences were invited to share their stories, but not share their ideas. They were impacted by the system, but they weren't asked to help shape it. So we made the shift. We asked ambassadors, what works? Tell us about our programs. Tell us what works and what didn't work. Then we gave the ambassadors our Housing Justice Fund, and we let them decide how the funding would get spent and who the funding would go to. You should have seen the Zoom calls when ambassadors, our community leaders, told applicants they had been selected. There has never been such joy in a funder announcement than your neighbor calling you to tell you you were selected for this fund. Now we're intentional about creating space for ambassadors to advocate, to change the systems that impact them and all of us. At United Way Bay Area, we asked ourselves a question that changed everything. What if the people closest to the problems we're trying to solve were actually trusted as the experts and leaders that they are? United Way Bay Area had been designing and leading for 100 years in the San Francisco Bay Area. But we needed to recognize when to get out of the way. Today, that's nearly 40 ambassadors covering our 8-county region, and that includes 6 ambassador leaders, all with experience navigating the pathways out of poverty towards stability and prosperity. They get trained in our programs, represent United Way Bay Area at outreach events. They contribute to grant-making decisions. They call 211 and test the website. Then they provide the feedback directly to our program directors. They also co-design our pilots, like our Spark Point Guaranteed Basic Income pilot. Our North Star is shared ownership wherever possible. This is what true partnership looks like in practice. It starts with trust. It's not always polished. It's not always easy. For sure, it's not always comfortable. But it is always the way forward. And something powerful happens when we do this with community. Ambassadors don't just contribute or participate. They become advocates. They testify at committee hearings. They join legislative meetings. They show up for Capitol Day. They sit on board policy committees. Because when you help build something, they don't just believe in it, they roll up their sleeves with you. Ambassadors are constituents. They are trusted experts, community leaders, and our San Francisco Bay Area is stronger because of each and every one of them. Now, if you're wondering how to start this in your community, that's another great question. I'm glad you asked. I recommend that you start small, but be intentional. Ask a few partners to nominate ambassadors. Meet consistently to build trust. We did this through quarterly meetings with topics such as public speaking skill building. Provide trauma-informed training and support. Do not skip this. We did, and we learned from that mistake. Consider hardship funds for ambassadors navigating inequitable systems and compensate them. They are not volunteers giving mere opinions. They are experts shaping our solutions. Air Jordan was not just about Michael Jordan. Air Jordan is about what's possible when someone is trusted as a creator. And this work is not just for one ambassador, one program, or one organization, or one athlete, particularly the one with the W on her chest. Woo, go 90s, go Huskies. It's for all of them. And it's for all of us. Because when we stop asking people to represent our work and start inviting people to co-create it and advocate for the change we want to see, we don't just get better programs. We don't just get better policies. We build movements. So thank you. Now let's build together.